Hi guys, this is teacher Jalal, the mathematics teacher at Yemen Modern Schools. Actually, today we are going to study Unit 11, the parallel lines, triangles, and polygons. So, in this unit, we are going to study lines, angles, and polygons. But in the beginning, we are going to have an introduction to geometry. Last year, we studied geometry and the fundamentals of geometry, and we said that in geometry we have points, lines, planes, figures, a lot of things actually in geometry. But if I want to ask you again about the definition or the mathematical meaning of these concepts, actually let's start with the point. Point actually it is a geometric element that has zero dimension. That means the point doesn't have length, width, or height. So it is actually zero dimension. So how can we represent it, or how can we give it a name or a symbol? We can give it P, or we can say point P. Okay, line, focus here, line. A line is a collection of points along a straight path with no endpoints. What's the meaning of with no endpoints? This is because of the two arrows on the left and in the right. These two arrows mean that this line can go far away with no end. The same thing with the arrow on the left. It can go far away with no end. And how can we represent it? We write AB or BA. That means the line can go from A to B or the opposite from B to A. Okay, here we have the line segment, or you can say segment. So a line segment or a segment is a part of a line that contains every point on the line between its end point. Okay, so here we have 2 points. Focus that here we don't have arrows. That means this line is finite or has end. The opposite of the line which has no end. And how can I represent it? XY or YX. Focus on the line above the X and Y. It is different from the A, B, or BA. And let's go to the ray. What is a ray? Actually, a ray is a line with a single endpoint. That means with only one arrow that goes on and on in one direction. That means this one can go from P to Q only, from P to Q. That means it will go to the right direction and there is no end for this ray. So how can I present it? I can write PQ and look at the line on them. It is actually the row, the arrow actually is to the right. Actually, I can write it in a different way. I can write QP, but I am going to change the direction of the arrow. So on the last one here, we have the plane. Actually, it is a flat surface. A flat surface is like the screen of the laptop, or it is like the wall of the room. So we have many flat surfaces in our life. So it is this is the plane is like them. So it is a flat surface. It's a flat surface that extends to infinity. So this is how can I draw it. How I can draw it, and this is how I can represent it. I can say plane EFG, or I can write it plane T. So I have two ways to name the plane. I can say EFG or the plane T. And let's go to the angles. Actually, angles when two lines, focus two lines with arrows, meet at a point, an angle is formed. We name this angle. How can I name this angle? Or how can I call it? We name this angle as A. I can write a symbol next to the angle and I write A, or according to the name of the lines here we have two lines which are AB and we have CB. These two lines, when they meet at a point, by the way, this point we call it a vertex. So these two lines, they meet actually at a point, we call it a vertex, and they form an angle. How can I call it? I can call it A or ABC angle. ABC angle. So an angle is a measure of a rotation from one of the line segment to the other one. We often label angles. Yes, as I told you guys, I can write here A or I can call it ABC. Labeling lines, angles, and shape. Actually, how can I label lines? I can say the line segment AB, this is an angle, for example. I can say ABD, and this is a segment AD, it is infinite, and this is a triangle. And by the way, we can represent this triangle as a plane. We can say the triangle BCD or the triangle you can say CDB. Types of angles. We have many types of angles we have in geometry. The first one is the acute angle. Its value actually is more than 0 and less than 90 degrees. The second one is the right angle, which equal exactly 90 degrees. Then we have the obtuse angle, which is bigger than 90 degrees and smaller than 180 degrees. The fourth one is the reflex angle, which is bigger than 180 degrees and smaller than 360 degrees. Here we have the angles on a straight line and at a point. So here we have, actually here we have this line, we call it a straight line, or we can call this angle, we can call it, when we add CB and A, this is actually form a straight angle. Angles at a point, yes. Actually, we have another type of angles, which is the full turn angle. Full turn, when you have a full rotation, actually it equals 360. So when you have a rotation at a point, and when you want to find, or when you add up all these angles, the result will be 360. Here we have the complementary angles and supplementary angles. The complementary angles, when I add two angles and the result will be 90 degrees. The second one is the supplementary angles. When I have a straight line, here I have a right angle in the complementary, and in the supplementary I have a straight angle which equals 180. So when I have supplementary angles, when I add them, the result will be 180. Here we have the last one in our revision, the distance from a point to a line. What is the shortest distance from a point to a line? What is the shortest distance from point O to this line? Actually, in geometry, when you have a line and you want to make the shortest distance from a point, any point in a space, actually the shortest distance will be the horizontal line. This is the shortest one. So the shortest distance from a point to a line is always the perpendicular distance. So right now we have lines in a plane. We have many relationship between lines, and the first one we are going to study is the intersected lines, the intersected or the crossed lines. Any two straight lines in a plane either intersect once, actually they intersect at a point, and this point actually we call it the point of intersection. The second type, the parallel lines. Actually, the parallel lines, they go in only one direction, they have the same direction, and they have the same angle from ground or vertical line. I will explain this point. What does it mean? They have the same direction, same angles from the ground and vertical line. So the parallel lines actually, if I want to show that these two lines are parallel to each other, I have to use arrow heads to show that lines are parallel. These two lines are parallel. So parallel lines will never meet, they stay an equal distance apart. What's the meaning of staying equal distance apart? Actually, equidistance, it means equidistance. So when I say these two lines are equidistant, that means they stay an equal distance from apart. So what does it mean when I say they have same angles from the ground or vertical line? Now let's make two lines. Let's make this line horizontal and the other one is a vertical. The same thing to the other line. When I measure the angle of this line to the horizontal line, actually the angle will be the same of the angle of the other line. And the same thing with the vertical or normal line. I will have the same angle. So when I have two parallel lines, they will have the same angle from the ground, which is 15 degrees, and the same angle from vertical line, which is 75 degrees. So parallel lines share the same angles from the ground and vertical line. So perpendicular lines, or we can say normal lines. So what is the special thing about the angles at the point of intersection here? These two lines are intersected, but they are normal, we can say normal, or vertical to each other, or we can say perpendicular lines. What is the special? Actually, the special here that all the angles between these two lines actually are equal to 90 degrees. So A equal B equal C equal D, and all these angles equal to 90 degrees. So lines that intersect at right angles are called perpendicular lines. Now we will have the pairs of angles and the relationship between lines related with angles. We have many kinds here. We have the first kind is when I have two intersected lines, I will have the vertically opposite angles. What's the meaning of this? When two lines intersect, two pairs of vertically opposite angles are formed. That means this line and that line actually they are intersected at a point. The opposite angles, for example, A and C, are opposite angles. We can call them opposite or vertically opposite. Actually, they are equal. And the same thing for D and B. They are actually equal and have the same. They have the same value. So again, angles made with parallel lines. When a straight line crosses two parallel lines, 8 angles are formed. Where are they? We have this line and the other one, and these two lines are parallel. If a line crossed them, we will have 8 angles. Where are they, or where can they form? Actually, here we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And we will know right now we have many different types of angles that are made with the parallel lines. We will know every one. Which angles are equal to each other? We will know this when we study the next. Angles on a straight line and a point is actually we did it. Angles in parallel lines. Actually, the first one, when I have two parallel lines and cross with another line, actually, when you have a shape like Z or Z, actually I call these angles alternate angles. And when I say alternate angles, that means the angles with the red color, A and C, are equal. The same thing with B and D. Someone will say, teacher, but B and D angles don't form Z. Actually, I know that, but it is not necessary to have the same shape of Z. But actually, if you focus here, you can draw Z from here, but it is not the same like the usual Z. So alternate angles are equal. They usually make a Z shape. So A and C angles are equal. The same thing with B and D. Who can tell me why B and D are equal? Actually, this is very easy question. You can answer it if you know if you understand the supplementary angles. Look, here we have the Z letter. The next one, actually, here we have when you have two parallel lines and you can make F shape. Look, B and D are equal, the same thing. I know the left side doesn't form F. Actually, it looks like it. It is not the same as the right side, but the left side actually you can form F. So A and C are equal. The same thing for B and D. So these angles we call them corresponding angles. So A and C are equal. The same thing for B and D, and they usually make an F shape. Here we have, by the way, the previous we have, look, B, D, they have the same color. A and C, they have the same color. That means they are equal. So what's the problem with this shape or with this figure? Here we have A and B, two angles, but they don't have the same color. That means they are not equal. So when I have two angles forming C letter or C shape, actually they are not equal, but when you add them, you have supplementary angles, or you can say interior angles. Interior angles, the opposite of exterior angles. So A and B are supplementary angles or interior angles. And I will give you a worksheet by the end of this lesson, and we will have exercise and many figures show the interior angles. So here we have a quick revision for what we studied in the pairs of angles or the parallel line, the angles in parallel lines. We have the corresponding, alternate, and interior angles. Interior, or we can say the supplementary. So the corresponding angles are equal. A and B are equal. The same thing in this part and this part, they are also equal. So look for an F shape. Just try to draw F shape, and we will have same angles. A and B are same angle. The second one, the alternated or the alternate angles. Here we have, we form, make Z shape, and you will have equal angles, the A and B. The same thing with the interior angles, but they are not equal A and B. When you add them up, you have 180 interior angles, or we call them supplementary angles. Look for C or U shape. So here we will have exercises 1 and 2. Number 1, you will have solved exercises, and I will do some of them with you. And in exercise 2, also I will do 2 problems, and the rest, by the way guys, you will do the rest of exercise 1 and 2, and actually you will find it below. You will find the link below, and I will give you these 2 files as a Word file, so you can write the homework or the activity inside the Word file, and I want you to send them back to me on WhatsApp or email. So let's go to the exercise number 1. Here we have angles in parallel lines. Here we have the red. Actually, here we have, look, in the left figure, actually we can make Z angle. The question here we have, find the unknown angles X, Y, and Z. So the X actually absolutely equal 48, why 48? Because X and 48 are alternate angles. So the second one here we have C shape or U shape, and when I add these 2 angles, I will have 180. So I can call these 2 angles 138 degrees with the Z. Actually, these 2 angles are supplementary or interior angles. When I add them, I will have 180. So absolutely, Z will be 42. Z will be 42. The last one here we have corresponding angles Y and 61. Actually, I draw here F shape. So these 2 angles, the Y and 61, are equal because they are corresponding angles. Okay guys, I am going to do these 3, and I'm sure these 3 are really easy. So absolutely the X here is going to be 54. And when I add 54 with 126, the answer will be 180. So why is this? Because these 2 angles, the X and 126, are interior angles. So the same thing here, we have x and 96. 96 degrees and x are not interior angles. Actually, I can form here F shape. So these two angles are corresponding. The answer of the value of x is going to be the same of 96. Why is this? Because these two angles are corresponding. How about the last one? When actually I could form a Z shape, it is not like the usual Z we know, but it is actually the same. It is close to it, so the y is going, the value of y is going to be 133 because these two angles, the y and 133, are alternate angles. Actually, the rest, guys, you can do it by yourself. I'm sure you can do it. It's so easy. Here you have more exercises. I hope you do it. So now let's go to exercise number 2. Angles and parallel lines. Neglect, guys, the information in the right side of your screen because these information are about actually the triangles. So we are going to study the triangles actually after we have finished the parallel line, the angles and parallel lines. So here we have the C shape, or we can call them interior angles, the F shape, the corresponding, the Z shape, the alternate angles. Here we have this question, BEG, BEG, this is the line, and CFG are straight lines. ABC is parallel, this line ABC is parallel to DEF. ABC line and DEF line actually are parallel to each other. And here we have an angle. We have angle here ABE. ABE actually is 48 degrees. And AB and BCF is actually equal to 30 degrees. So the first equation, write down the size of the angle marked X. How can I find the value of X? Actually here the answer is very easy. Why, guys? The value of X actually, can we form any letter from the letters we had before? Can we make C, F, or something like that to find the value of X? Absolutely yes, we can make Z. So the X will be 48 because X and 48 are alternate angles. So here the value actually is 48. Why? Give a reason for your answer because actually they are alternate. Because they are alternate angles. Number B, write down the size of the angle marked Y. How can I find the value of Y? This is the same thing. Can we do any? Can we do any letter? Can we draw any letter from the letters we know? Can we draw C, F, or maybe Z to have the value of y, just focus with the angle BCF, the 30. Actually, I can draw a reversed F shape. So the 30 and the y angles are actually equal. Why are they equal? Because they are corresponding. I can draw F shape here. I can draw F shape, but it is not a normal shape, F shape. It is actually the opposite, and to the left side, not to the right side. So the value of y is actually 30 degrees. Why is this? Because these two angles are corresponding. Okay, the second one here we have here ABG angle equal to 63, and we have here BA, the line, we have the lines BA and GD are parallel, and the same thing with BGC and EF. These two lines are also parallel, so we can represent by two arrows or one arrow. Actually, why two arrows are here? Just to show that uh, this line is parallel to this one. So first question, find the size of angle X. Actually, how I can find the value of X? Actually, X is corresponding with angle over here. Let's call it Z angle, and I can put it here. So I don't know the value of Z. So if I know the value of Z, I can know the value of X. Why is this? Because X and Z, or I can say VGC angle, or I can give it a name just to make the solution easier when I write the angles. It is easier to write Z angle more than DGC. So the Z angle is actually equal to the X angle because I can make F shape, but the F shape here is actually upside down. So X equal to Z because they are corresponding, but I don't know the value of Z. How can I know it? If I know the value of Y, or if I can make another F shape here, what do you think? A, B, and D, G. Actually, I can make F shape, and Z will be corresponding with 63. So Z equal 63 degrees. That means X will be 63. Why is this? Because Z actually is corresponding to ABG angle, and the same thing, Z is also corresponding to X. How about here the value of Y? This is really easy. By the way, can we make another shape? Can we make U shape, C shape, Z shape? Actually, the best thing is to do, guys, here is U shape. And when I make here U shape, I will have supplementary angles or interior angles. These two angles, when you add them up, the value or the answer will be 180. So what do you think, guys? 180, the value of y equal 180 minus 63 equal 117 degrees. So the value of phi is 117. You have, guys, this is the end of the lesson. I hope you understand. If you have anything you want to discuss or to ask about, just write it or tell me in the comments area. You can write your question, you can write anything you want. If you really understand, I really hope so. This makes me very happy. And this is the first lesson of geometry unit 11, and I hope, guys, you understand really, because we today we studied a lot of things in one lesson, but you can divide this lesson or video into two parts. You can study the first part in a day and the second part in another day, and this will make it easy for you to understand and solve the problems. Actually, here we have another problems. I hope you do them, and you can. I'm sure you can do them. I will give you guys 2 days. I'm sure you can do them in 2 days. If any question is difficult for you, just text me or write your question. You can text me on WhatsApp, or you can write on the comments below the video. Thank you so much, and we will study again, and we will go back again to our lovely school, the Yemen Modern Schools. Goodbye.